Yo, K-Kunnnn here. I got early access to the media server again and got to play test Harumasa. So obviously this is the media server, things are subject to change. Now let's talk about Harumasa's kit starting. Ayo wait, just give us a kiss. That's for the 1% female players out there, bruh. I ain't gay, but I'd kiss the guy if no homo, by the way. But anyways, let's start off with his core passive, and thank god, no more essay descriptions. So his dash attack slashes called Hiten no Suru Slashes will increase his crit rate by 25%, which is the one showing on screen right now. And note that this is considered as dash attack, not basic attack, just to clarify. When his slashes hit the enemies and it crits, it will give him Gleaming Edge. That increases his slash crit damage by 12%, which stacks up to 6 times indicated under his HP bar, and it lasts for 5 seconds, but repeated trigger will reset the duration. His additional ability says that if the enemy is stunned or affected by an attribute anomaly, his damage will increase by 40%, and Fallen Feather, which is the aim shot or quick shot indicated when he crouched down and fires the Fallen Feather arrow. If you do his 5th basic attack, hold his EX skill, basic attack after you ult with him, and this can be activated if you have a stunner or an anomaly unit in the team. His basic attack are cool, but you won't be using them. But here's a cool detail though. When you're near an enemy, he will slash the enemies with his blade bow in his 3rd basic attack. But when he's in the far distance, he will repeat his 3rd directional arrow bow shots rather than his slashes. So one neat detail about our #1 cancer patient. The 2 important things about his basic attack are his hold basic attack, which is like his aim shot, and his electro balls, which scales off his basic attack. So in aim shot mode, you won't be able to move, it locks you onto the enemies quickly, and if you want to change targets, you can drag your mouse from left to right, but it was kinda inconsistent for me, but pressing A and D was more consistent for me. So for controls and mobiles, probably use your joysticks. His dodge attacks and defensive assist or parry are stock standard. They're not anything special. Again, his slash attack scales off his dodge attacks. One point I want to show is when you're in a situation where you have to dodge and the enemy is marked with a crosshair and you don't do his slash attacks, you either want to dodge attack again or do his aim shot to follow up with his dash attack. His EX skill has some input variation on it, so you can just press it and it will do his EX skill normally, and if you hold it, you can press it again and then hold it to do his crouch shot and apply electro prison to the enemies without you needing to do his aim shot, and immediately go to his slash attacks. His ult stock standard, big PP damage, and if you triggered the shock anomaly, you can follow it up by doing his basic attack and he'll do his crouch shot and generate some electro balls, and you can aim shot and start slashing the enemies. His chain attack is different because he makes electric arrows rain down and generates 6 electro balls, which you can do an aim shot and start slashing the enemies. But hey, if you've been watching and enjoying this video, why not subscribe? Harumasa will give you a kiss and it'll help me stay in the basement. Thank you very much. So Harumasa is basically an attacker unit that you will only on-field him if the enemy is stunned. His gameplay revolves around aim shotting and his crouch shot so that you can apply electro prison onto the enemies using his electro balls to get into his slash attacks. In my time of playing with him, you probably want to sweat a bit on playing him, not like Omega mid-max, just don't button mash. So let me explain. So with this video, I stunned the Giga Robot, then did his chain attack. After that, I did my aim shot at the robot to make my electro balls hit the robot, and we started slashing him. And when Harumasa jumps in the air, that is where I stop button mashing and hold my EX skill, do his crouch shot. You can do this with his aim shot, but I like his crouch shot more. So up to you, and just repeat the slash attacks. So you can see he will always generate 6 electro balls in his first slash attack sequence. After his first one, he will no longer do that and only generate 2 electro balls, which you can see in this part. Or do his EX skill if you don't have your ult available. Playing around with him, I found that if you hold your basic attack while in midair, the game knows you're already inputting his aim shot, because if you try aim shotting when he finally lands on the ground, you will be doing his basic attack instead, which just disrupts your flow when you're using him. So just up to your preference on which move you want to do. I'd recommend just getting used to his gameplay, and in time, he will be second nature if you play with him long enough. Now, is this the perfect attack rotation? I don't know, but he does a lot of damage as long as you know how to play him well. So if you're into this type of playstyle and gameplay, I'd say you're gonna have a lot of fun playing him, because after playing him for a while, he kinda grew on me. I like how he switches from bow to melee. This is literally what should have been like child's gameplay in Genshin, in my opinion. Now let's take a look at my stats for him. You can see it's 55% crit rate. Why? Because his core passive gives him 25% crit rate if he is in his slash attack state, and his Wengine essentially gives him 20% crit rate, which lands me in like 100% crit rate. Now his skills pretty much almost max, so here are the priority upgrades that you want to level up in my opinion. Core passive and dash attack, because his slashes are considered to be dash attacks, EX skill, and ult, then basic, and then assist. His disk drives obviously put the electric set on the electric DPS, or the pen ratio set, or attack, or you could go for the woodpecker if you haven't reached 55% crit rate, if you're running his signature weapon, or if you have any crit Wengines. You could change that to do something else, like pen, attack, like what I'm doing, because I'm using pen because I was trying to build Rina as well, and I just got lucky with my roll, so I'm just using it on him. You can see in the screen as well what the main stats are, and here is the substat priority: crit rate or crit damage, attack, and then lastly pen. Wengine options, signature weapon will always be the best, giving him 48% crit damage and 10% crit rate for free, and if the enemy is stunned or inflicted with an attribute anomaly, you'll get another 10% crit rate for 15 seconds, and his dash attack's electric damage increased by 40%, so obviously catered towards him. But he has many great F2P options if you have them. Brimstone is a good one if you lost to 50-50. Starlight Wengine is always a solid option if you quick assist with him or dodge counter with him. Gilded Blossom is aight, but you won't be able to use his passive, so The limited event Wengine is probably the best one overall here because it gives a juicy crit rate stat and the passive benefits his core gameplay. You can use the BP attacker weapon as well, though the passive is kinda meh at best. Last but not least, Anton's signature A rank Wengine is nice. The ER is kinda whatever, but the passive is pretty nice on Harumasa, so if you have it on R5 and no other options, you can use it. It's not the best, but you can still clear with Shouwa defense with it. Here's a video comparing the damage, though it can be pretty dank low. So yeah, easy good. Long story short, he's in the middle. He can go down if you're not versed at playing him. A balanced character. Not busted like Jane, but not underwhelming if you play him well. For a free character, he's pretty good. I don't think anyone who builds him will regret it. Well, if you already have like a large pool of characters, maybe? Or if another electric attacker agent that is S rank shows up, well, that is where the actual comparison will begin. But hey, he's free, so we can't complain too much about it. And if you didn't get him, like 07, his banner won't be coming back anytime soon, I think, because a character in HSR named Dr. Ratio was given for free and his banner and signature weapon had no reruns yet so far. Which leads me to, should you get some of his Mindscapes and Wengine? If you're not planning to get him after you get convinced with his trailer or his kiss like me, I would go for his Wengine first, then his Mindscapes, though you're better off having him at like M0 and his signature weapon. And rumors are saying that we are going to get a lot of polychromes for this patch, so if that's true, you can probably have a nice chance of sniping him and his Wengine or maybe Miyabi. So let's get into his Mindscapes. M1 increases his Electro Prison stacks to 14 and he'll do 2 consecutive crowd shots when you generate some Electro Balls. Pretty aight, nothing too crazy. M2 unlocks a new mechanic called Electro Blitz, which stacks up to 7, and every time you do his slash attacks, he will consume said Electro Blitz, which will make his slash attacks do 15% more damage. Pretty good. M4 makes your Electro Prison last for 20 seconds. And when doing his slash attacks, he will gain 30 more decibels for every slashes, and when you ult, it will apply maximum Electro Prisms to all of the enemies on field. So basically, he has a bit of AoE damage now, I think. M6 basically makes your Electro Balls ignore 15% of the enemy's Electro Res when they are stunned or under Attribute Anomaly for 12 seconds. And every 12 times the enemies get hits with his Electro Balls, Harumasa will cause a new onto the enemies, dealing 1500% attack of electric damage. Bro became freaking Electro Drain or something. So again, get his Wengine if you want to, and his Mindscapes, I don't think you really need them. The biggest one is M6, but you have to go through the rest of his Mindscapes, which is like, if you're lucky, like $600 or something or less, but most probably it's gonna be like 1k or more. Inflation isn't gonna affect the freaking whales, man. It's just a minor debuff. Okay, for team options. The first one is an F2P team, which I called Shocking Balls. So Harumasa, Anby, and Nicole, basically. You're gonna on-field most of the time will be Anby, just to try and stun the enemies, and whenever the enemy is about to be stunned, you switch into Nicole so that you can do her EX skill, and then it will proc the chain attack, and then you can switch to Harumasa, go back to Nicole, and then you can cancel the chain attack, and then you can basically do Harumasa's damage rotation. So pretty simple and straightforward. This is basically like the Zhu Yuan team, bro. You just replace Zhu Yuan with freaking Harumasa over here, yeah? And over here is obviously the Comfy Pin King team. And I mean, this is pretty obvious. Like, I guess you have like 2 stunners here. Caesar providing like 1k attack to the team so that Harumasa can do a little bit more damage. So this is essentially similar to the other team but you just have to proc Caesar shield once and then go to Anby on fielder and stun the enemies and do Harumasa's damage rotation. Simple and easy. So shock these nuts. One of my favorite personal teams using Harumasa in. And obviously note that if you have Qingyi, use Qingyi over here, use Qingyi over here if you have her, yeah? So this team is basically similar to the Shocking Balls team. But the rotation for shock these nuts, it's pretty similar to the Shocking Balls team. You stun with Qingyi, and then when the enemy is about to be stunned, go to Rina to do her EX skill, and then do the chain attack, and then go to Harumasa, and then just do the damage rotation for Harumasa to kill the enemies, yeah? Shock My Balls is kind of a wacky team in my opinion. I'm not really too fond of it, but if you have Grace, you could slot her in with Harumasa since his additional ability can be activated by anomaly characters as well. So you can place her here, and then you can occasionally like swap into Grace and then do her like EX kill and stuff like that. Quick swap with her and then go back to Qingyi or something. So this is just like a simple like shock stun team. And over here is basically a really wacky, like wacky whack. I don't know how this team works, but I guess it kind of works. So what I usually do with this rotation is basically just go to like Qingyi, start stunning the enemies, and whenever the enemy attacks or like the yellow glint appears, I'll just go to Miyabi and then do her damage rotation over there and go back to Qingyi. And when the damage rotation's finally done, I can basically do my chain attack rotation and then just go to Harumasa to do his damage rotation. So I'll be showing Shocking Balls, Shocking these nuts, and I don't know how this team works, but I'll somehow make it work. So let's get into the battle combat. So here is the wacky team that is Qingyi, Miyabi, and freaking Harumasa. So we're basically gonna do her damage rotation, or I mean stunning rotation. Okay, I just got hit there, not very good. And just do this, and when he finally does that, and there we go. This should... And there we go. And I guess we could probably do this. Then we can freaking go to Harumasa and do his damage rotation over here, and this should be fine. And probably one more rotation and we should be fine here. Let's build up Qingyi's freaking meter, and yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Go to Miyabi. There we go, and probably Harumasa should end him right now. There we go. Yeah, very quick. Let's see how long was this. Let's see, probably like a minute or two. 55, hey, pretty decent. Alright, now for the F2P team, which is Nicole, Anby, and Harumasa over here. And we can see Anby's already stunning the guy quickly over here. And we'll just, oh gosh. Okay, there we go. And we can go to Harumasa and go back to Nicole and then cancel this chain attack to do this. And there we go. There we go. And this will be basically not one rotation, but yep. And he's basically half health already, so that's pretty good. And do this. Okay, that wasn't very good of me. And dodge that one. And okay, I didn't expect that one. Okay, this should stun. Okay, there we go. And then go back to Harumasa. And this should probably kill. And okay, yeah, this should kill. Okay, I need to stop. Okay, yeah, that should kill. I don't want to freaking go back to freaking floor 5, bro, to do this again. Okay, so let's just say it's done in like 1 minute and 1 second. So hey, even though I kind of suck at using Anby, this freaking time used is pretty good. So let's go to the other team. Alright, now we're going to do Harumasa, Qingyi, and Grace. So I'll just show you how I do this team rotation. So I guess start with Qingyi. There we go. And then whenever this, there we go. Then do some Grace's stuff over here. And then go back to Qingyi. There we go. And Harumasa should kill this guy. There we go. And so let's just say around like maybe 1 minute and this guy should be dead. So pretty easy team as well. So you can see, even though Grace is right there, I think this team rotations basically do this. Whenever you see Grace's energy is up, just do this. And then go to Harumasa. You can see, even though, okay, hold on. Even though the boy's not freaking stunned yet, we're doing a bit of damage there. We're doing a bit of damage because maybe the guy's like level 60 and something, he's not 70, so we're going to do Harumasa, Qingyi, and Miss Rina. Yeah. Sorry, I almost forgot her name over there. But yeah, this is one of my favorite teams over here. Pretty simple. It's basically like the Nicole team over here. Basically the premium team of the Nicole F2P team. So there we go. And go to Rina and go to Harumasa to do his damage rotation over here. There we go. And do his E. And let's do his ult. It's probably gonna run out. And yeah, there we go. Bro's probably dead with like 1 tap. So that was like basically a 30-second rotation, or maybe like around like 40 damage rotation. So very quick and fast. So yeah, I think I've covered everything about Harumasa, so subscribe so I can stay in the basement, like for the algorithm, and leave down in the comments, are you going to get his Wengine since he's already free to do more damage with him? But yeah, again, that's pretty much it. Bye!